Please give a very, very warm welcome, round of applause for the one and only Dimitar Berbatov. All mic'd up. Good to see you. If I kindly ask you to grab onto the mic, please.
Hi, guys.
Obviously, you can see the Spurs section, United section. They're a bit unhappy because there's no Spurs jersey on the screen.
Oh, yeah, I can relate to that. I mean, come on, right? Play for Spurs, play for United. Love them both, you know, so... Who made this? All right?
Must be a United fan. Has to be 100%. Oh, someone at the back. Someone's being pointed to. So this show is just about your career, your life. We're recording it. So I think we're good to start. I want to go back to your early days. Dimitar, how was life growing up in Bulgaria? Because the 80s was a very different time back then in Bulgaria.
First, thanks for the welcoming, guys. Good to see Spurs fans, United fans, people loving football in general. Me as well. And going to a question. Back then, so I'm born 1981. I'm 42 now. So yeah, time flies like this. But I cannot say something bad of my upbringing. You know, when you're growing up, me in my case and my brother, we were just as any other kid in the block, just going out playing. Time was different, of course. No phones, no social medias, and just trying to stay in school as well, be good as much as we can. But our free time was basically going outside where we used to live and just kick a ball. Obviously, my dad was an ex-football player, so it was probably passed down from him. Nobody pushed us. Nobody makes us like, you need to do this or this. No, we just chose to kick a ball, to be a football player. And I think one of the most important things I say to the young kids, let's say, if you find what you want to do early in life, it's going to save you from a long of wrong choices. And I was lucky to find my passion, that was football, and then stay concentrated and avoid the temptation that was around me. Because back in the Balkans, we like life too much sometimes. So the temptation can be big. But if you're focused and you have a goal early on in life, I think that can save you and keep you on the line of success, let's say.
Nowadays, people love to have the latest boots, the latest ball, the latest technology when they play. But you growing up, you didn't let that stop you. You were playing with whatever you had, like a basketball, a pig's bladder.
Well,
is this true?
Pig's bladder. Do you know what it is? You sure? Because we had a tradition to slaughter a pig, then eat the pig, but it was a big ritual. So my dad, my granddad, they would gather, you know, and when they're starting to take out the inside of the pig, to prepare it to eat, the bladder, they took out the bladder and they
inflated
it, and it's going to be like a balloon, and with all the
innards and all
stuff like this.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Here we go, kids, you can kick a ball with this one." And so we started to kick with this one, but it was really light. So now we need to figure out a way to make it a bit more heavy so you can play with it. So we put a cloth around it. It makes like a football. So this is basically my first touch with the football. The hard or old school way. Like my dad and my granddad saying, go on, man up. You know, this is how life can be sometimes, tough. So find your way of improvising and kick a ball. And then obviously I moved to the basketball because we didn't have probably enough money for football, although my dad was a football player. He didn't have a football back home. So I had a basketball, I don't know why. But I think that basketball was very important to me because I learned how to control it with my foot, and because the basketball is more heavy than the football. And maybe that played a role of me throwing the basketball every day and control it, like throw and control. And because I was able to master the touch of a heavy ball, after that it was more easy for me to control the football. Probably, you know. And I was doing that all day long. I don't know why. Nobody tell me to do it. I just feel the instinct to do it. And after that, it was more easy for me to, master my touch afterwards.
What about your dad? How good was he? What position did he play?
He used to play a defender, although he was telling me about how good of a striker he was in the beginning or whatever, how good I was, on the left side, right side. I'm like, okay. But I didn't saw that because obviously he was young when he was doing it. But I saw him play as a defender afterwards, a central defender, and he was calm and collected and here, very clever. And when I was watching him, I just remember, because this was a long time ago, I just remember how he was reading the game. And that made an impression on me. Calm and collected, and just trying to be 2 steps ahead of the opposition. And of course, my dad is old school, and he's from the Balkans. So back home, growing up can be a difficult one. So for my dad, old school, to say I love you, that would be difficult, So he's going to be like...
The nod.
A nod, a look. So with times, you learn how to appreciate these type of things. And after a while, you know how to communicate better with your dad. After you grow up, you realize that he's preparing you for life, his way, right? And now when I remind him about stuff like this, he feels uncomfortable because he knows it's true. So I remember him playing like this, and then just stuck to my mind. Maybe I didn't realize, but after I grew up and started playing, maybe because I was seeing him, how he was cool and collected, and subconsciously I want to be like that. So that's why my football was like a bit calm, collected. I put my own input, like beautiful goals, beautiful assists, the touch, of course, leading with the touch. But yeah, I think my dad was something to do with me trying to play the way I did.
Who did you support
when I was growing up?
Yeah.
My dad, obviously, because everybody, his dad is a hero when you're growing up, let's say. After a while, when you start seeing other things, then you find new stuff, new people to support, new teams to support. And when I was growing up, 2 players were my idols, Van Basten and Alan Shearer. Both different type of players, but at the same time similar in scoring goals, similar in raising their hand like this, right? When celebrating, a bit boring, I know. It's not like these days when players have different celebration because of branding and marketing, but back in the day it was like this. So when I used to score a goal, I wanted to pay respect to these players, and that's why when I used to score a goal, I was doing like this, the same. So I was supporting them all the time, because Van Basten was really beautiful to play in football, like elegant, like dancing on the pitch. And he was so unfortunate to stop playing 28, yeah. And I was watching him going around San Siro on the final day and waving at the fans and crying. Oh man, I was crying my soul out when I was watching this. And then Alan Shearer, completely different. He was bullying defenders all day long, elbows, kicking, but he can score a goal from any position on the pitch. So this was my 2 people growing up that I support a lot.
What was it like? I presume you've met him off the field with Alan Shearer or Van Basten.
I did, yeah. I met them both. Van Basten, he was the coach of Netherlands, where we played them with Bulgaria, and we drew 1-1. But I didn't have a chance to say, you're my idol growing up. But I texted him on Instagram, yes, sending him a message, but I still waiting for him to reply to me.
Really?
Yeah. But this is how life works, right? You cannot have everything. But Alan Shearer, I had a chance to be interviewed by him, work with him as well on games, commentating, and every time I telling him, I love you.
He appreciates it.
Just showing how he didn't know, but he inspired me a lot when I was growing up. Like I'm trying to inspire other people coming after me, young players. So this is a chain. It's always a chain.
Would have been magnificent to see you play with someone like Shearer.
Well, probably.
I think you would complement each other.
I was thinking about that as well. Maybe he was going to hold the ball for me, then give it to me. I'll be more beautiful one, dancing around and then give it to him and smash it. But we will never know. Anyway, he was my idol.
Yeah, I can imagine why. Is it true you learned English by watching The Godfather? Is this true?
Yeah, it is true. It is true. Because, as I said, I was trying going to school back in the day, but we didn't have English lessons in school. We had Russian, because Russia is next to us. So at one point, because of my mom, maybe, she was the most strict, like, you need to learn a language, maybe, son. And I'm like, yeah, language, why? Like a boy who thinks he knows everything when he's that age, around 17 or something like this. But then when I started playing football, and now the interest from other team outside Bulgaria started coming to my mind, now I got freaked out. How am I going to speak with these people if I go outside Bulgaria? My mom was right, man. So now I needed to do something. And I started to watch movies because I'm a big movie geek. I watch a lot of movies. I get inspired by the movies. I cry on movies or whatever. So I started watching movie and reading magazines, English magazines, as I can find something in Bulgaria, and just read, watch movies, try to remember, talking to myself in the mirror in English, you know, and trying to practice my skills. And when I left for Germany, now I was really freaked out and scared, because I'm thinking to myself, I don't know English so well, but now I need to learn German as well. And German, man, can someone speak German here? Probably no, That's one of the most difficult languages in the world. But then, again, I wanted to be prepared, so I started even more to learn English by watching movies, because it was training, games, home. Training, games, home. So Leverkusen, I played for Leverkusen, and it was the same city as Manchester. You have one stadium, and you have that big factory that make aspirin, you know? So that was it. So I train, game, home, train, game, home, and stay focused on trying to improve myself, and improving myself on the pitch, but also my English skills. So reading magazines, watching movies with subtitles, with unsubtitles, and trying to memorize, practice as much as I can, speak with the boys English. And slowly and surely, you know, English is easy language. So even if I sometimes don't speak it correctly, I was able to learn it like that old school way. Just find my way of learning things. If you don't have a teacher in this case, or other means that you make it more easy, I made it like this, watching movies. Godfather, everybody knows that movie, right? Come on, make you an offer and stuff like this.
I like that impression.
No.
Top 3 movies then.
No, Godfather 1 and 2 is probably the best movies ever, and any movie that cannot be made into a remake, it's a classic movie, because you cannot remake a classic movie. So The Godfather, you can never remake that, never. Or if you try to do, you'll be a fool. Yeah.
The irony is, someone here was saying their wife thinks you look like Andy Garcia. He was in Godfather Part 3, Untouchables.
And the funny story, I met Andy Garcia. Yeah, I was walking past the airport one time, minding my own business, just waiting for my flight, and who do I see coming in the other direction? Andy Garcia.
And you said hi to him?
I was with my wife, and I'm like, Andy Garcia. And she's like, go say hi, man. And I'm like, no. I have people who I admire as well. And if I see them, I'll be like, oh my God, you know? So Andy Garcia is like, coming. Do I say hi? What do I do? Go say hi. I don't know. Thinking, and we are walking, and he passed me by. And my wife's like, look at you, man. Go say hi. And I'm like, and then I feel sorry because I missed my opportunity. Then I turn around. What do I see? He's coming back. And now my wife is, go now. And I did go to him and say, I'm sorry to bother you. Big fan. I know who you are. I'm from Bulgaria. And actually, we shoot a lot of movies in Bulgaria. And he's like, yeah, I know Bulgaria. We shot a movie there. It's a great country, etc. Can I have a photo? Yes. I didn't say that people say to me that I look like him, because maybe he's going to think I'm a crazy fan or something. But I took a photo with him, say, thank you very much, good luck, and that was it.
You bump into a lot of people at airports. You bumped into the original Brazilian Ronaldo as well, didn't you? I just remembered that on your Instagram.
Not only that, I bumped with him, but you can meet a lot of people at the airport, yeah.
I've never met anyone at the airport.
No, but if you look around, because my eyesight is really good, so even if I mind my own business, I always see what is happening here or behind me or whatever. And I saw Ronaldo, and again, people didn't pay attention to him, and like, oh my God, it's Ronaldo. How can you not see him walking past and nobody bothers him? So I asked him for autographs, for a photo as well. He didn't speak English. Good thing the wife maybe or girlfriend was with him. I don't think he knew who I was. But, you know, I was like, thank you. You're great. Bye. But 1 week ago or two, I was in Doha. And again, I'm walking through the airport, waiting for my flight, looking around to buy something to my wife, obviously. You know how it is. And then,
Very much.
and then just walking this way, and on the other way, guess who is coming? Can anyone guess? Sportsman, ex, not football, really popular, crazy, tattoo on his face. I see Mike Tyson is walking with his entourage probably, but you know he's walking like this. So he's walking like this, and you know it's a dangerous walk.
Yes, it is.
It's a dangerous walk. And I don't know why our eyes meet. So I'm walking this way, he's coming this way, and I'm like... And again, I'm thinking, it's Mike Tyson. Why is nobody saying hi to him or taking a photo? But maybe because they were a bit scared, because he was walking like this, people around him. And then, again, after that, I was like, why didn't I go say hi and take a photo? So I always been like this, people I admire and like, you know, but at the same time, I know that sometimes you have your own things on your mind. Maybe you didn't like to be bothered or something. So maybe next time when I Doha meet him again, I'll say hi.
Yeah. Is there anybody you wish you could have met that you haven't?
Muhammad Ali, probably, because he was great. He was great for what he stood for, how he talked to people, that charisma and wit and the words and everything. Probably other people as well that I admire that have done something great in their life and just inspire generations and stuff. These are the people that you want to lead and maybe take out something from them and put it in your own life and try to be the example for the people who like you. But now that you ask me, first name that popped to my mind was Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. All right, going back again to the early days, how you discovered the academy that you started off at? You went to the, I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong, the Priyan Blagovrad Academy?
Yeah, this is my hometown in Bulgaria. And back in the day, if you want to go to academy and start training, organizing, almost professional, you need to do trials. It's not like you go and now and then just like, okay, come on in. You need to go trials. If you show you're good enough, you come in. So trials, I needed to prepare for the trials. I was telling my dad, I'm so excited, I'm so excited.
Just a nod.
Okay. So I was preparing, I know because a lot of kids will be there as well, so I needed to look good, to represent my dad as well. And you know, when you're a son of a football player, everybody will be a bit like, well, he is going to get in because that and stuff like this. But I wanted to show everybody how good I am. I already had my street cred, you know that, on the street, playing football, doing good, and people know that I was good. But now it was the chance to show I'll be the best here. Because there were points after the rounds, and based on points, first, second, third, fourth, until 20th, and then you get in. So I've done everything. There was a shooting, dribbling, past the defender, or a cone, and then shooting to the goal, stuff like this for young boys. And in the end, it was a game. And I've done well in my mind, and then you go home. And after 5 days, the results coming in. So I was so anxious, like, oh my God, did I made it? You made that, what do you think?
Not bad.
See? Not bad. Because he was there, of course, watching me. And then after 5 days, I'm so excited to go and see the results, what place I'm placed, and and I go, and what do I see? Berba, second place. And I'm like, what? How is it possible? I was done everything. Who is the boy in the first place? So my mission in Go was to find who was in the first place and see how good he was. Obviously, I find him, and and I was like, hi, Berba, Dimitar, or whatever. So, you're good, huh? And she was like, well, I tried to be. So become friends. But by becoming friends with him, I was challenging myself and him to show him that I want to be better than him. And eventually, I become better than him. But because our path differ. He chose to do something. But since early age, I wanted to be first in my own way. And if someone was better than me, I wanted to see why he was better than me. And how can I become, with competition with him and myself, to overcome him and become even better. You know, from early age. I don't know why. Just I wanted to be like this.
You're driven.
Driven, yeah, because when you grow up in a small place, you know each other pretty well. As I said, I was playing on the streets a lot. The boys had the respect because I was doing fine. And now all of a sudden, someone was challenging for my place. And I'm like, all right. Then it means that I need to be better. And you start to work on stuff like this.
Are you still friends with him?
Yes, but as I said, life can separate you, and everybody choose what they do in their life. Some people stay in football, some people find other professions. And in life, when you grow up as a football player, young boy, sometimes you can be better than the rest, but as the time goes by, the young boys who are slow to show their quality all of a sudden flourish, and they overcome, or how do you say, overpower you and become better than you, and you just stay the level you were. And it's life. Just you find your own way.
77 goals in 92 games in the academy. That's a tremendous record. I'm not sure if that's official or not. It'd be a bit hard to find the records, but still.
Yeah, it was. The main difference for me was that my dad said, "Listen, you need to play with the bigger player. You don't play with the players that your own age. You play with the bigger one." And I'm like, why? They're gonna kick me. I'm gonna be the weakest link. Why? Well, they do, but you will learn in the process to become strong. You lose, you fall on the ground, but you learn to be strong. You'll be, when you go down to play with your own team, you'll be better than them because you'll be playing with the bigger boys. Trust me. And of course, I was like scared a little bit, but then I needed to do that. So I always play with the bigger boys than me in the academy. And I needed to show every training session that I was good and I deserved to be with them. It wasn't working every training session. Sometimes I cry. I was depressed because I didn't do good or didn't play. But my dad was stubborn. You stay there. You'll see it's going to be good for you. And not only that, after a while, he started taking me with him to the teams at that point that he was playing with, because he was, let's say, almost 38, 40 or 41, but he was still playing low league games. And let me tell you, the players in these teams, minors, hard-working men, you know, with scars here, you see it's like a criminal almost. You see the face. And my dad is playing with them, and I train with them. Oh, man, they kick the out of me. Sorry about that.
No, don't worry, you can say whatever.
They kick the every time I try to complain, someone will hit me in the back of the head. I fall down, and I'm like, foul? Get up, man. And in the process, elbows, kicking, swearing, spitting. And this is how, in a funny way, maybe strange for you guys, I learned how to protect myself in the process and stood up to these guys. And then years later, I play in Premier League in Germany or whatever, big teams, and I see in the tunnel before games the opposition player or someone trying to scare, and like, let's go, we destroy you. And I'm thinking to myself, do you know where I've been? Do you know what type of guys I needed to train and handle, and they elbow me everywhere and my face everywhere. You cannot scare me, man. So in a way, it helped me. You know, I didn't realize it, of course. When I was doing it, I was scared. But then at times, I feel great because now when they accepted me, they start telling me stories. And these type of guys, they have the funniest story ever. Old school stories, whatever they did in their days, and just listening. Some of the stories were obviously not scary, but like a naughty one and ugly one, and you know, like what you expect from people like this. But you listen and you're like, man, you know, they accepted you, one of them, and you learn to take care of yourself the hard way.
Yes. Moving to the big city, Sofia.
No, man, yeah.
How was that for you as you're a kid at this stage. You're still a kid. You're a teenager. A big move, though.
It was a big move, and I was, again, every new things can bring fear of you don't know what is happening or what is awaits for you in the big city. And I was afraid, but my ambition was bigger than my fear. And I wanted to continue developing myself as a football player. And now it was the time to make the next step in my journey, which was going to Sofia, capital, and playing in one of the biggest teams in the world. In my mind, it was in the world. It was in our country. And I was going into the academy, and hopefully I was going to deserve my place to go to the first team. And of course I was scared. But, you know, this is the moments in life where you need to get out of your comfort zone, as they say, and just go and fight for your place, for what you think that you deserve. And this was probably my first time when I needed to step out of my comfort zone and go to the big city back home.
I've heard it pronounced CSKA, but also CSKA.
Yeah,
so which one is it?
Well, for you guys, CSK probably. For me, it's CSK.
CSKA. Yeah. I said that so wrong. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm butchering your language. I apologize.
No, don't worry.
First season there, you actually won the Bulgarian Cup, didn't you? I mean, you're talking about trophies and ambition. There's no better way to start than lifting a trophy.
It is, but for me, it was more of naivety of seeing football through a different eyes. When you're a young player, you don't rely on tactics. You don't even listen to your coach so much. You just want to play. You just want to enjoy. You just want to be there, imagining that you're in front of your place where you lived, and now you're just playing football, but on the bigger stage. After a while, you learn there is tactics, there is things that you need to do on the pitch for your teammates, listening more to your coach. But at first, you just like a kid in a candy store. You just go out there and you try to play. That was how I was feeling. Along the way, I won the cup, but again, I was joyful. But still, for me, it was first the pure joy of playing football, of thinking, yes, I'm here. You know, I play with the big boys again. You know, my dad was right. Now I made it here. And after that comes the trophy. But, you know, when you grow up, you see new things, you learn new things, you realize how the points are so important, the trophies, because when you look back, when you finish your career, it's good to have something to show off, you know. So you learn this as the journey goes on.
You also got to play a bit in Europe. Didn't you make your debut against Newcastle,
of
all teams?
Yeah.
Newcastle.
Who you plays in front of Newcastle?
There you go.
Alan Shearer, man.
Exactly.
And I was like, this is my dream coming true, man. Alan Shearer. I was so excited, jumping around and like telling my teammates, man, it's Alan Shearer, Alan Shearer. Like, stop it, man. But I was so excited, thinking how we're going to play against him. Of course, thinking how I get his shirt after the game. I think he scored 3 times maybe against us. We lost, of course. But, you know, to have that experience, I was probably 19 at the time and playing against Newcastle at home and then to St. James's Park. And we did okay, but we lost. It was Newcastle with Shearer. The bad thing was I didn't get his shirt. Honestly, because a teammate of mine asked him for his shirt before the game. And me realizing that, going into the dressing room after, I'm like, give me the shirt. No. It's my shirt. I asked him, he gave it to me. Give me the fucking shirt. You know, we almost fight for the shirt, but eventually he didn't give it to me.
Oh. Out of interest, which is your favorite jersey that you have in terms of jerseys of opposition players, not your own?
Anyway, I never acquired a Shearer shirt, but after a while, when I made it to the professional football, I had the chance to play against great players, legendary players, gods, you know, against Messi. I played with Ronaldo, with all these players. But the truth is, I was never big on swapping shirts. I don't know why.
You were hurt by not getting Shearers, that's why, early on.
Probably, but no, I was never like, the game finishes, the game starting, and I'm like, I want this shirt. I was more focused on myself doing good, the game finishing in our favor, stuff like this. But there was one time where I wanted a shirt. Can you guess which player it was?
One player. Mm-hmm. I mean, you grew up with Shearer and Van Basten, but Van Basten retired way too early for this to have happened. I don't know.
It was Ronaldo phenomenon.
Ah.
because he was a god. You know, when you go past Shearer and Van Basten, and then you find Ronaldo after a while, man, he was out of this world. He was unbelievable, the stuff he was doing. So we play Real Madrid with Leverkusen. And I was more shy, more private. So maybe from the experience with Shearer, I didn't want any rejection or maybe someone who took the shirt. So I had a teammate, Juan, who played for the Brazilian national team. And before the game, I'm like, Juan, listen to me now. I have a plan. the game finish, or before the game, you choose. You tell Ronaldo, please, I need his shirt. He's great and phenomenal, and I want his shirt. You know, you can take my shirt, give it to him. Maybe he doesn't want, maybe he throw it away. I need his shirt, please. He's like, Berbs, calm down. So after the game finish, and I score in that game, 1-1, and I score at Bernabeu. You know, I'm 21-2 now, and Juan is going to the changing room, and I'm just patiently waiting. So what is happening? Is he coming? Why is he late? Where are you, Juan? You know? And then he's coming back with a smile on his face, like, here we go, Berbs. Oh, man. I was like, better than scoring a goal, like, thank you, man. And seeing the shirt, Ronaldo, the white shirt with the number 9, it made my day, man. Even better than I scored a goal. So this was the one shirt that I wanted to get. Of course, I had other players that I admire, and I have other shirts at home, probably 3 or 4. One is Messi shirt, because Messi is unbelievable. And also, maybe I'll surprise you, I have another one, not by swapping, but getting, when I retired, is Pippo Inzaghi. You know him? And I like him. You know why? He was not technically gifted or whatever, but he was on the right spot and the right time in the box. And he knew exactly how to kick the ball, so the ball to go in the back of the net. And after he scored a goal, he celebrated every goal like he was the last goal he was going to score. Like, going crazy like this. And this, when I was watching, I'm like, man, I want to have that. I had my passion, but I was thinking, I want to have the same passion to show after a goal, not my boring like this, you know. And he was like going so enthusiastically, and I like that about him. And because he was scoring so many goals, I was asked a friend to give me his shirt, so I have that shirt as well.
He was born offside, as they say.
Yeah,
I think Alex said that.
He did, but the goals he scored, man, just on the right time, right place, the right kick of the ball, it doesn't matter how, in the goal.
Yeah. Talking about Europe just now, it was around this time, just before it actually, you were 18, you got to wear your national jersey. Yeah. You got to go out and represent your country. I mean, there can probably be no greater honor than that. How did you feel? I know it was against Greece and the game didn't go well, but still.
No, that wasn't important. The important thing was that I was part of the national team and my journey was going the right way, like uphill, upgrading in my own way. And I actually found out that I was going to be called to the national team through the papers. So I'm with my friends in a coffee, late at night, celebrating, preparing to go to the discotheque. Because we had a good game, and now we're relaxing, we are big time, you know. And back then, the newspapers, for the day after, was released late at night. I don't know why. And you can get it after 12. And we are just chilling, and someone comes with the paper of my friends. This is probably 12:30 night. He's like, Berbs, read this. And he's bringing me a paper, and I'm like, what? And I see Dimitar Berbatov called to the national team. So we are sitting 6 of my friends and like, is that true? It cannot be true, right? Is it? Because nobody called me. My coach didn't say anything. Berbs, you'll be called to the national team. And we're like sitting there silently and like thinking about it. Like sitting like, no. Is it? Congratulations. And I'm like, wait, how? Is the newspaper? That cannot be serious. So I needed to wait until the next day to find out through my coach, was it, or the representative of the national team, to give me a call and say, you're called to the national team, get ready.
Wow.
And it was a great honor, of course, for me, because now, early age, and I'm called to the national team. And the truth is, I didn't even play for the national team before the men. The
youth system,
21.
The under 21.
Yeah, I didn't play for it. I needed to play for that after when I made my debut for the men's team. So I skipped a couple of steps and go straight to the men's team.
Wow.
Which was a great honor for me because basically I was telling myself, okay, you're doing something right, so keep doing it.
What about the club football as your time progressed in Sofia at CSKA? The fans can be quite brutal there, right? Like if you have one bad game, they can just switch.
Well, and that, as you said, it happened to me. And that moment of my life changed my life, actually, because I was 18 and we have a very important game against our rival, CSKA Sofia, playing Levski Sofia. And I played in that game and I missed a great opportunity to score in 90th minute. And then they score in the 92nd minute and they won the game. And after the game, I was sitting on the halfway line just crying, man, and it was so painful, and everybody turned against me, like the fans and everybody. And I'm 18. I don't even know how the world is working. And I'm thinking, man, what did I done? What did I done? It was really hard period of my time. But actually, it made me stronger because I was able to overcome all this emotion and difficult period, which lasted until the end of the season. And I knew now at that moment that I will have difficulty staying here, unfortunately. So maybe the universe or whatever was showing me a sign that my future lies outside of my country, unfortunately for myself, because I didn't want to leave. But something was pushing me to find my luck outside of Bulgaria. And that first big challenge, changed my life, and I was able to go to Leverkusen, which was probably the best decision of my life.
Before that, though, didn't someone semi-kidnap you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Again, let me repeat that. Kidnapped Berber.
Yeah, that's why I
Semi-kidnapped.
That's why I say things back home in the days were handled different way. And I was finished training. In the team there was a veteran who was playing. He was probably 36 or whatever. So he knew my dad in a way. That's why I trusted him. So we finished training and I preparing to go home, waiting for the bus or whatever. So he's, Berbs, let me drive you. Let's have something to eat. And I'm like, all right. So we drive to a place, a restaurant. We go in. So nobody in the restaurant. Just one table like this, and someone is sitting there, and this chair is empty. And the guy sitting there is not like you. He's big. Big here, big here, big here.
Scary.
Yeah, scary. So, and he's like, come here. And I'm like, looking at the guy who brought me, what is going on? And he's like, just go, he's going to talk to you. And I go, and I sit, and the guy who brought me there, gone. So now I'm alone with that guy. Not only this, behind them, there's another table with the same guys, like him, big, sitting there and just looking scary. So I'm sitting here and like saying nothing. He's like, do you know who I am? Like, no. Anyway, he tell me his name and his nickname or whatever, probably to make me anxious and nervous. I didn't know.
What was his nickname? Was it like the butcher or something?
Similar, yeah, similar, the cook.
The cook?
Yeah. So I didn't know who he was, but he tried to explain that we like you, the way you play. Funny thing is that they were representing the honor of another team who was getting bigger and bigger, that team, so they wanted to take big players, good players. So in their own way, they are making me an offer. I cannot refuse, right?
Yeah.
So in their own way, he was explaining me, come with us, we give you more money, you play more, you take care of you, and etc. And the only thing I was thinking is like, I need to call my dad.
No mobiles?
No mobiles, nothing. It's the phones, the phones with the wires and stationary. And he was just continue talking, and I need to call my dad, man. I felt scared, basically. And he explained everything to me. Basically, they want me. And then in the end, he said, what do you think? And I'm like, can I call my dad, please? And yeah, he said, no worries, just give him a call. So I go call my dad, and I'm like, Dad. So, I don't know where I am. I'm just someone talking to me. My dad, calm down. Tell me slowly. And I try to explain. I am with the guy that your friend brought me to him, and they want to take me from CSKA Sofia and put me in another team. I don't know what to do. And he's like, all right, stay there. We come to you. So probably I stay 1 hour still sitting in the chair. The guy was talking to me from time to time. The other people over there watching scary still. And I'm like thinking, where is my dad? Where's my dad? So maybe 1 hour passed, and my dad came with another man, and they took me, and we go home. Then later I realized that back in the day, the guy who owned the club that wanted me was a big gangster back home, but they killed him. He's dead. Oh. The owner of my club was another gangster as well. They they also killed him. He's also dead. Oh. Yeah, that happened back in the days. And they had their competition, which team is going to be better. So everybody wanted the better player to take. And everyone was doing it their own way. And this was their way of saying, we like you, come to us, you know. And then I realized, my dad told me after that he called a guy he knew, so the two presidents spoke, and it didn't happen. Anything didn't happen, fortunately, for me, because I didn't want to leave. It was a scary experience, but, you know, you come to realize that stuff like this back home from time to time was okay. And it was reality back then.
I hope your dad had words of your teammate, his friend, for taking you in the first place.
To be honest, yeah, I never asked him, because after a while, I never spoke with that guy again. And life, in a way, take care of him, so it was okay.
Leverkusen would be your next club. Were there any other clubs who offered you a position, though? Italy, maybe?
Yeah, he's from Italy, which was a small team by the name of Lecce there. They wanted me, but because I always follow my intuition all my life. Whatever I do, I follow my intuition. And I think 99% of the time, my intuition never betrays me. And I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to go to Italy. I wanted, believe it or not, to stay in Sofia and do something for my team, even if I have difficulty. I wanted to prove to myself and everyone, no, it's one mistake. I will make better. I will be better. But then, because the money was so good, now we had a different president on the club, and he wanted to get the money and sell me. So we needed to go to Italy, talk with the owners there, and I was so depressed because I didn't want to go. But the president of the club said, yeah, you go. You go, we take the money, you go there. If you don't go, you go to the army. How can I explain? Because we had 2 years mandatory
national service.
To go to the army. But because I was a now professional football player, for me it was allowed not to go to the army. But he was like, you go and we sell you, or you go to the army and you're not playing football. So another situation where I need to handle.
Yeah.
So I go to Italy, didn't want to go, but you go. We speak with their representative, and the agent who was representing the club for my part was speaking with them on the table, and I was sitting on a different table. And I'm like, please, God, please, don't let that happen. I want to go there. You know, I was praying to everybody, and I was following what is happening on the table. And I see the dialogue progressing, talking, first calmly, and I'm like, oh, it's going to happen. I'm going to be miserable here. I don't want to be here. Then all of a sudden, some starting to heat up. You can see by talking, gesticulating, and stuff like this. And I'm like, okay, keep going. And then the guy stand up, comes to me, and it's like, it's not happening. Let's go home. Oh, man. I was like, let's go home, you know, straight away. And it didn't happen. I don't know why. I never asked a question. Just it didn't happen. And then 5 days later, the same situation. I'm in a bar with my friends, newspaper, and what do I see? Leverkusen is coming from Berbatov. And I'm like, again? Find into newspaper. And 3 days later, Leverkusen were in Sofia. And just like that, we signed a contract, and I didn't have anything against it because in my mind, in my body, I was feeling that was the right thing to do. I was afraid, of course, but at the same time, I knew that maybe my time now needs to come to an end back home.
Yeah. 2002, you're 21, and you came on as a sub in the first half, if I remember correctly, in the Champions League final. The Champions League final, pinnacle of club football. Yeah. I know it was Real Madrid, they won it that year, but you were there when Zidane scored.
man.
That goal.
Not only there, I was just behind him. And watching him score that goal, I was halfway line. And just seeing the ball from Roberto Carlos, it was not even a cross probably, half cross or whatever, going like this. And then Zidane going like this. And I'm like, oh my God. You just sense that something is coming. And the way he just struck the ball and kicked it in the back of the net, probably one of the, if not the best goals in Champions League finals, right? And I was thinking to myself, I need to upload this, man, on the pitch.
On the pitch?
Because you need to admire stuff like this. And Zidane, man, Zidane, from all people, Zidane, one of the greatest as well to touch the ball ever. And it was a good experience, ultimately finished in a bad way for us, which was a pity because I think the small Leverkusen team that beat on the way to the final Liverpool and Manchester United, we beat them on the way to the final, man, that no one gave us a chance to do that. Oh, it was a fairy tale. But sometimes in life, fairy tales doesn't end in a happy end.
Yeah, there was also a game I remember Casillas coming on as a sub.
Yeah,
very young.
We made him as a goalkeeper in that night because he was everywhere like a Spider-Man, catching everything, and we are attacking, and we just pressing Real Madrid. In the last minutes, I have a good opportunities, someone cleaning from the halfway line, and he's going everywhere, man. I think that was the crucial moment in the game where Cesar, who was the goalkeeper of Real Madrid, injured himself, and then in came Casillas, and he was unbelievable at that night, unfortunately for us.
Yeah, but saying that, I mean, you had a great team yourself, the likes of another goalkeeper, Butt in goal,
yeah.
Lucio, Ballack, Neuville, great people to learn from, I'm sure, as a youngster.
Zé Roberto as well. There was a guy who was the god for Leverkusen, Ulf Kirsten. I don't know if you heard of him. He was a goal machine for Germany. And a team that was good. We knew how good we are, but nobody else knew that. Along the process, I think we earned the respect of everyone by the way how we play football, how he beat United, how we beat Liverpool, how we face and never give up against Real Madrid in the end, but their class was just maybe slightly better than us.
It's a good season, but it's also disappointing because you're effectively second in the Champions League. You got second in the DFB Pokal Cup final, and you're runners-up in the league.
Yeah,
disappointment.
Big disappointment.
How do you look back on it now?
It was. We lose the Bundesliga. We were first, something like Arsenal last year. Sure. We were leading on the table, and then last games of the season, the pressure, not enough experience probably, some mistakes here and there of results, and we lost the title. It was in our hand. Then comes the Bundesliga Cup final with Schalke, and we are going into the game confident, even though we lost the Bundesliga, but we know that we can win. We go 1-0 up. Who scores? Me. And now I'm thinking, here we go. We can correct that mistake. No. I don't remember the score, though. 3-1 or 4-1 was it? They beat us. Another final lost. And now the Champions League final awaits. The big test. And now we need to put everything there. Forget the disappointment, and try to get the final. Although it was Real Madrid, well, we did everything, trust me. We did everything. We are so unlucky. But ultimately, we lost that as well.
Yeah. You would also get your first Bulgarian Player of the Year award. Who holds the record for that now?
Who holds the record? Yeah, me.
How many, though?
7.
Yeah, correct. 7.
Well, you know, because the other before me was Hristo Stoichkov. He was 5. But when I was growing in stature and everything, and I was starting to pick the awards, you know how it is. You get a taste, you get another taste, and now you want more and more. And I was thinking, well, I have 2, I have 3, I can do 5. When I did 5, I'm like, I can do 6 or 7. And this is how records are broken. Eventually, probably someone will come after me and break my record. But for now, I'm number 1.
Yeah, you are. You certainly are.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the club career. Spurs, you made the move. Is it true United tried to get in there at the last minute and you could have joined the Red Devils 2 years earlier?
Yeah, that's true. You know that? I was at Leverkusen and I already spoke with Spurs and with Chairman Daniel Levy, and he telling me how much he wants me. Not only that, Martinho was the in charge, who I spoke with him, and he was. I'll tell you a story about him. I fell in love with him straight away because he looked like the Godfather.
He looks like Brando.
He did. And this I realized after I saw him. First he was on the phone and, Berba, how are you? And I'm like, what is happening here? But they spoke with me, they showed how much they wanted me in the team, telling me about their vision and stuff like this. Because now was the moment for me to make the next step in my journey, going out of Germany. Again, I was a bit afraid, you know, different country. And then later in that stage comes in United to make things even more complicated in my head. And I'm like, what, why? The manager was, my agent was telling me, United are coming in, they also following you, and they probably would like to sign you, but there is a but. If they sell, who was at the time they were trying to sell? Newsteroy or Saha? I will be mistaken. Some striker they tried to sell. So if they sell him, they will come. If not, no. So we need to make a choice. Take the Spurs way, because they're here, they show you the respect, or wait for United. But if it doesn't happen, Spurs will no longer be there probably, so you stay in Leverkusen. So you see, choices. And my head was going to explode. Any player probably like this. So I needed to make the choice, and I am this type of guy that I like to show my gratitude and loyalty and stay respectful to the team, players, coach that showed me the respect that they wanted me, and I say, well, I will have a chance to show United that I'm good enough, right? Because I'm going to play against them. So I choose Spurs and say, let's do it, let's go. And it was in my feet to show how good I am in Spurs shirt.
You must have loved Martin Jol because you signed with him again at Fulham, down the road.
Yeah, down the road, but first, before that, when I go to Spurs, the first week to meet the manager and everybody, and I go to the office of Spurs and Martin Jol, and I get in the office and I see him lying in a chair, but the chair was like, you know,
lean back,
and he's like this, like, Berba, my boy, come here, and he's getting up, and Martin Jol is my size, and he's a big guy, and I'm like, what is happening, Berbs? And he's like coming, hug me like this, like, welcome, Berbs, welcome, we do great things, and I don't know, I straight away I took a liking to Martin Jol. I told you at first he looked like a godfather, he talked like a godfather, but not only that, he looked like my granddad. Honestly, he looked like a granddad, and these are the things that, I don't know, everybody's different, made an impression on me, but my intuition was telling me that it's going to be okay. So I felt at ease with him. Of course, in the beginning, I had 1 month where I was trying to get adjusted to the Premier League and everything, with the speed, with the tackles and everything. But after that, I think I can say with Spurs, we won a trophy. Yeah. Right?
Yes, you did. I'll get that shortly. I want to know about the pressure of being the most expensive Bulgarian, though. That's a heavy cross to bear.
Yeah, it was. And when you are a deep thinker, like I am at times, you stop for a moment or moments to think about stuff like this, and you think. And I was thinking to myself, this is a lot of money, man. How? I mean, I kick a ball, I do good things, but so much money, you know. It's crazy, right? And you put that pressure on yourself, ultimately, because we're all human beings, and sometimes negative thinking is more than the positive thinking. And I try my best not to think so much about it. Maybe that's why in the first month, let's say, I was difficulty adjusting, because I knew the pressure is there. Now I need to perform, I need to score goals, and probably everybody's thinking that I'll take the ball from one goal, score in the other one. So that way of thinking is never good. It's never good. But as I said, after 1 month, maybe I felt even more this, with the boys welcoming me, and me trying to now fit straight into the team, and after that it was okay.
Yeah, because that first season you got 5th place in the league, you were top scorer for the club, but it took you a little while to get going. But once you did, the good times rolled.
Oh man, it was great. Once I show what I can do, this is how football works sometimes. You just know that you're going to be playing no matter what. And I knew Martin Yo liked me and trusted me. And he's like, just go out there and do what you're going to do, Berbs. And I needed that. But every player needs that to feel special. But strikers are a bit more different. They need to feel special. You know, like, I'm the guy, I'm the important guy because I score the goals, headlines and everything, etc. But the difference is, when Martin Yo gave me that trust, now I'm thinking to myself, listen, Berbs, don't let him down and don't disappoint him, because he's trusting you. He basically telling you do whatever you want to do on the pitch. So then don't let him go, let him down, sorry. Every game, I was thinking that, trying to do my best not to let the man down. And with Spurs, as I said, it was great times. Ultimately, Martinho was sacked, which was a painful moment for myself, because any coach who brought you into the team, when he leaves, it's a bad moment. And I remember him like sitting like this, he telling us the news that he needs to go, and then hugging everyone, you know, it was emotional, and then hugging me, and I skip back to the first day when we meet and we hug again, but now we were hugging because we're saying goodbye, and he's like, we'll meet again. And that was it. And then came Juan de Ramos. Man.
No, for you?
No, not in the way the training was going, because he was all about the running. All about the running. I'm like thinking to myself, am I back in Germany now? Like running like this, like circles. And everybody, some of the players were throwing up on the training session. And then at one moment we needed to go to speak with him and say, boss, please, it's too much. We play for you, but sometimes the training is just too much. And when you see that the coach accepted this, then you can work together. And ultimately, I think that he, in the beginning, he wanted a bit of, to be convinced what I can do. So in the first game against Middlesbrough, I think it was, he comes to me and says, Berbs, you're not playing today. And I'm like, what? I'll go with something else. I'll go with Jermaine Defoe, and someone else was there. I said the same to Robbie Keane. So I go to Kino after that, like, so we're not playing, huh? No. So now in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. And I say another word, but I'm not going to repeat it here. You know, I'm going to show you. So the game didn't finish probably the way everyone expected. So the next game we are playing with Kino and I'm playing. So I'm thinking to myself, I will show you what I can do. Well, I did show him, because after that, I continued to play every game pretty much, and we won the trophy. And the ultimate compliment probably any coach paid me was by Juan de Ramos when I was about to leave from Spurs to United. In one training session, he comes to me when the negotiation was going on, and he's like, what's happening, Berbs? What is happening? You going? You staying? And I'm like, I don't know, man. You know my opinion, probably. I need to make the next step. Well, listen, if you go, the beautiful football will go with you. Oh. And I'm like sitting, because, you know, we're sitting like this. He's next to me, and we are watching, I don't know what we are watching in a distance. It was like in a movie. And he's talking to me and saying, the beautiful football will go away with you. And I'm like, thinking to myself, I want to hug you, man. But we all men, right? So we don't want to show emotion sometimes. So I'm like, thanks. And then he walks away, and I walk the other way. You know. So ultimately, he came to the point that he knew that how good I was for the team, and I was playing every game, and he showed me the respect that I show him as well. But at one point, then you need to make the next step.
How much did you love playing with Robbie Keane? He's someone that partnered Fenomeno in Inter. People forget that. He was in Italy.
Yeah. But with Kino, it was just, I don't know, just click. And he respected the way I was, more private back then, didn't talk so much outside of the pitch. But he respected that. So when I saw that he's giving me that respect, I gave him that respect that he deserves as well. And sometimes this is how football works. Even if you don't speak with someone outside of the football pitch, you can still do great things on the field. Believe me. Sometimes you work with someone so hard, but it's just not working out. So with Kino, straight away we clicked, and we've done some great stuff. We're just embarrassing defenders and having fun and doing it with style. That's what makes me smile all the time, because we are doing it in style. And there was no selfishness. If I am in a better position, he'll give me the ball. If he is in a better position, I'll give him the ball. And in the process of this work in relationship, we made each other better. And that's why the move to United followed for me, and the move to Liverpool followed for him, because we work with each other with no selfishness and no envy, you know. And that's how it should be.
I swear he's the most connected man in football. He knows everybody.
Yeah, this is how he was as well as a player. He was so active. What is going on? Everybody okay? You need anything? Are you good? You know, because he was a captain.
Yeah.
So he wanted to make sure that everybody is good. You need anything? Let me know. Okay, good. Like he was a busy guy going. He was the same in the pitch, just running around and covering the whole pitch if he can. And I was more laid back, right? Just, you know, it's okay. You do what you do, I do what you do. We complement each other, and we have great times.
Speaking of laid back, I went to the Spurs training ground once years ago, and probably the most laid back person I've ever seen, Benoit Assokoto walked in. Who was more laid back, you or him? Because the dude carried like a plastic bag with his stuff.
He was laid back in his own way.
Yeah.
But I do like him because I don't think he realized how good he was as a defender. Honestly, I didn't think he realized that he was really good as a defender. Maybe sometimes that play a trick on him. But I always know that when he was playing, we will be fine. And I like him as a left back, because he was good. He was crazy in his own way, in a good way, but he was laid back. Sometimes him more than me. But as a human being, as a player, he was also as a player really good in my mind. As a human being, also he was a private and individual who didn't speak so much.
You got to see some Spurs players when they were really young. In fact, one of them was just here a month ago, Aaron Lennon.
Yep.
I saw a statistic that in the last 5 seasons, the fastest player in the Premier League was Aaron Lennon. He still holds it for the last 5 years, at an age 2 years older than what Kyle Walker is now. How fast was he?
Oh, man. I was looking at him and I'm thinking, is this guy have a meniscus and ligaments here in his knees? Because he was going to lightning speed, and then he'll stop and change direction, which, let me tell you, it's difficult to do, because you can tear a ligament, crucial ligament here, meniscus or whatever, or ankle sprain or something. But he was like changing direction, and because of his body and weight distribution, he was able to do all this, and I was able to score because of his movements as well. But he was very quick. He was a very good guy as well, a bit shy at that time because he was younger than me, you know. But I think ultimately he done well for Spurs, to be honest. But again, maybe he didn't understand that he was good and he can become even better at times. But with me playing, I have no complaints, because every time he go to the right and then he crossed the ball, I was pretty much always there. And if he didn't cross, I would scream at him, "Give me the ball! I'm here, cross the ball." But he was a great for Spurs.
You also saw young Gareth Bale arrive at the club.
Yeah, I did.
A very different Bale to what he would become. But how good was he back in the day?
He was. You can see straight away, even if you're not concentrated on someone else than yourself, you can see your teammates that they have the quality. And that's why I say sometimes other players don't realize that they're good enough, and they don't believe enough in themselves to become even better. But Gareth, when he came in, he was very, very young, and he played as a left back. He didn't play much because he was young, but you can see the speed that he was there and need to be developed, the pass, the left foot, and everything. But because football is like this, you come into a new team, there is a hierarchy.
A hierarchy.
Yeah. And you know, you need to earn your place, you need to earn your status, and you need to earn the respect of everybody. Sometimes it takes a while, sometimes it happens like this. It's strictly depends on the individual. But with him, you know, as I said, didn't play so much, but after a while, you see what he did in football, which is unbelievable.
When I look at individual seasons, standout individual seasons. Ronaldo, when he won Ballon d'Or at Manchester United. Probably Henry in his pomp at Arsenal. But I have to say, Gareth Bale, the season before he went to Real Madrid, probably one of the best an individual players ever had in the Premier League.
He was doing wonders with the left foot, with the speed and just explosiveness. I mean, this is how sometimes football works. 1 season or 2 seasons, you're slowly taking your time, developing your way, and then all of a sudden, bam, you're destroying defenders, and then a move to Real Madrid.
Yeah. You got your move to Manchester United. City tried to put in a cheeky bid for you, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They did. But what did I say?
What are the words you used again? We can bleep it.
But, you know, of course, you need, jokes aside, of course, you show respect to every club that is coming after you because they, in a way, appreciate you and showing you the respect because you're showing good games, right? So you need to give respect back. But at the same time, when United interests come to my mind, because my manager one day was like, United are here again. And I'm like, serious? He's like, yeah, serious, I'm keeping in touch. So like, okay, I am on the right path again. But when this is stuck in your mind, now your mind can become busy. You start going to bed late at night and you start thinking, oh, United are here, are they gonna stay? Am I going there? Is nothing happening again? You get confused. And in the process, other teams showing up. City, I think there was some other team, I don't remember the name, maybe just a rumor, but you get confused. You get even more confused. So now choices again. You need to make choices. But for me, seeing the shirt, the red, the badge, the history, the players, the managers, the stadium, it's a complete package. And now you get... you just get, what I forgot the word here.
You get this feeling.
You get the feeling. My intuition is putting me again on the path, but the temptation not to go is you just feel that you need to go, because for me, as much as I loved Spurs and appreciate everything they did for me, showing me and giving me the chance to show what I can do. And in the process, winning a trophy, you know, helping each other. And as much as I know that it's going to hurt them, but then thinking of myself, coming from a small town, small country, this is my chance. Maybe I'm not going to get any more chances like this. I'm 28. So this is the moments where you made painful choices for some people, but you know it's the right choices for yourself, because football finishes like this. So you need to find your way and reach your personal top. And my personal top was standing in front of me. It was United, because now times have changed, fortunately, guys. But back then, United, right? We're still a big brand. Unfortunately, City are doing better than us in the moment. But back then, with Sir Alex, with Ronaldo, with Rooney, and I'm like imagining myself there and thinking, oh man. So how can you not go? In the process, as I said, I disappoint my former team, Spurs. But I knew that after a while they will understand, because this is how football works sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you weren't doing a Sol Campbell and going to Arsenal. In fact, you left on a high. You won the trophy. You scored the equalising goal. You beat Arsenal in the semi-final.
This is how I was calming myself down, thinking, we won the trophy now. So now is the right time to move on the high and say thank you, we won it. Now I need to make the last step in my development. Of course, someone will say, well, let's stay. We can build on that success, and etc. But sometimes when your mind is made, it's difficult to change it. Especially if you know, in my case, that this was the moment for me that I will make myself proud for all the work and everything that I've gone through my life. I'll make my parents proud as well, my country proud, to play for one of the biggest clubs in the world. So that was the necessary step to take.
What was your first meeting like with the man, the boss, the legend, the gaffer, in the conversation, not just as United's greatest manager, but greatest manager of all time, full stop, Sir Alex Ferguson?
Awkward.
Awkward?
Yeah, awkward. When you meet someone you know through reputation, through success, you meet someone that you respect because of everything he achieved, but also someone you fear because you're in a presence of probably the greatest manager. So now I'm thinking, what do I say? What do I say and not myself look stupid? What do I say? Hi, Gaffer. Hi, Sir Alex. Hi, Mr. Ferguson. These things are thrown into my mind when I was flying to meet him. And in the end, he was waiting for me and my agent at the airport, you know, how it is, with the car. And we are driving. Now we are sitting in the car, and I'm in the back seat, the manager and Sir Alex. And I'm sitting in the back seat like a kid. You know, when you see someone that you admire and respect, you sit and you don't know what to say. And I'm sitting there, still thinking, do I say something now? What is happening? And then obviously he started to talk something, to small talks. Are you okay, guys? Everything good? The flight? Now we going this and there. And I'm just doing like this, like a stupid guy, right? Doing like this, don't know what to say. He tried to break the ice, but ultimately it was an awkward situation where I felt like 10 years old, don't know what to say to someone I admire, you know. And it makes me laugh after a while, but this was our first meeting actually, and I'm like, looked stupid.
Looking back at it, your released picture of you signing with Sir Alex did look a bit awkward. Like you looked a bit shy and.
No, I was shy. This is the. Not the complex, but this is when you come from a small country, and now all of a sudden, even though I deserved to go to United because I work my off, still thinking about meeting Sir Alex, playing with Ronaldo, with Giggs, with Scholes, Van der Sar in the goal, it made me scared again. Like that inferior complex? Is that
inferiority complex, yeah.
Because these are the winners, man, they won the treble, and now I'm going to play with them. And I was undermining myself and underestimating my own quality that way, which is not the way to do it. Trust me, it's not the way to do it. But this is how I felt back then, going to the dressing room, thinking what I'm going to say, where I'm going to sit, you know, stuff like this. And that's why when I was with Sir Alex, it was looking like I was shy. I was shy because even though I realized what is happening, so many questions was flowing through my mind and was driving me crazy.
You were introverted almost.
In a way, yes. And that's why I say I was more private, keeping to myself. And at the same time, when I see other of my teammates going to a new team, high-fiving people, kissing, hugging, and I'm like, I want to be like that guy, man. But just it's not me. I try. It's not me. It's feel awkward for myself. After a while, when you grow up, you learn. Now I speak with you guys. I'm more open, you know, because if I stay the same, it makes me the stupid guy. So I needed to change in a way. But back then, I was a bit more private, let's say.
Who made you feel the most welcome, though, of all your teammates there?
Oh, always good when you go to a team and you have someone close to your country. If not from the same country, someone who is next to your country. And Vida was that guy. Because he's Serbian, I can speak Serbian, I have no problems. So ultimately, straight away, you look for that guy. Because you have the common thing, the language, you have the common thing, the Balkans, pretty similar backstory, so you ultimately will be next to that guy. And after that, this is how big teams work. That's why I say a couple of times you need to earn your respect. It's not that they're going to give you because you score a couple of goals. You need to earn your respect on the training session, especially in the games, to show what you can do. After that comes the socializing, the communication, and everything. And you know, slowly but surely, with some players, happen quick because they are more open. You know, like they like to talk and feel at home. With me, a bit more slowly. With Vida and then Evra, because Evra was welcoming everybody. Waza was great because he was, in my mind, he was a real captain. Like again, going to everybody. If you need something, let me know. I'll take care of it. You okay? No selfishness, none whatsoever. Feel good. And after that, everybody else follow. You feel more relaxed, and you just fit in.
Was Patrice ever doing this, I love this game back then?
No.
He was different, right? He wasn't like as he is now.
No, but because back then football was different. There was not social media, right? When I was playing, there was no social media.
No.
It comes a bit later. So you need to be concentrated and focused on your game. Also, Sir Alex was there. I don't think he was going to allow stuff like this, trust me. He was not going to allow stuff like this. And that's why you keep yourself really concentrate. When there was a time to joke around, you joke around. But ultimately, straight away, when you need to be serious and do the business, you need to know how to do it. You know, and when you go to a winning team, and the atmosphere is built from the winners, and the environment is winning, winning, winning. If you want to fit into that environment, you ultimately need to listen. You need to ask questions. If you're shy to ask questions, you watch. By watching, you can learn as well. Then you try to implement into the game or put it in yourself. And I wanted to be part of that environment, and then I started to learn, to ask questions, try to get better, and ultimately, in the process, you will become a winner.
Standards in training must have been ridiculously good. Ridiculously good.
Tell me about it, man. Tell me. Some training sessions were harder than a game, because there was so much competition and everybody wanted to win small-sided games that ultimately sometimes you fight, sometimes you curse, sometimes you kick the shit out of each other, especially Vida. Vida was kicking everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. You come here near me, I will kick you, man. And I remember so many times where you play 11-a-side in training session, or 7-a-side, or tournament, or in whatever. And not the manager. The manager was standing on the side, Sir Alex, and watching. The head coach or the coach was the referee. So the referee have the difficult job of being fair to the both teams when they're playing. But then you play, you kick each other. Then the coach blow the whistle and say foul. Then Rio or Ronaldo or whatever will react. How is that a foul? All right, sorry, no foul. Then the other team will be like, what? You just said it's a foul, man. Blow the whistle, be fair. And then you start that argument. Then in some way, then the head coach will be like, I don't want to do it anymore. And then he leaves. And then we are like, well, go on. We continue to play. And we fight. And we want to win. And you build that winning mentality. And as I said, sometimes you fight with your teammates, which is normal things in the big teams. But the moment the gaffer say, the training is finished, you leave it at the training pitch. You leave it there. Don't take it to the dressing room. Don't make it personal, because it's not personal. It's about bringing that mentality on Saturday or Sunday and try to win for your team. It's never personal. Never. If you take it personal, you cannot like each other. You cannot love each other, everybody. Like families do sometimes, right? But you know that you move forward all together, everybody together as a team, and everybody brings something to the table, like pieces, and you put it together. And you need to respect each other and move forward. This is how you're going to win. But if you take it personal and bring it with you, it's not good for anyone. And that's why you leave it on the training pitch.
I know you said you were quiet, but someone else who was quiet at this time, I gather, would be Paul Scholes, a player who I feel wasn't as appreciated as he is now. Once he retired, people really said, you know what? He's brilliant.
Yeah, you're
He's
right.
Brilliant.
When you retire, people appreciate how much you've done to football, or even more when you're dead. And then people start to remember and say, hey, he was so good. Well, give him the, give him the accolade before that, man. Like Paul Scholes, you have a great example, because Paul, sometimes he was speaking less than me. So he will go there in training, change, go train, do the ridiculous passes that he was doing, you know, from everywhere, kick some people as well, then go shower, go home, repeat the next day, come the game time, he was unbelievable. And when you train with him, small-sided game, or passing, or whatever, you can see that he was reading the game 2-3 steps ahead of everybody else. And that's why Zidane said that he was probably the best midfield ever. Maybe you have a point, what you said, but I think it's because he was private as well. He kept it to himself, didn't speak so much. As I said, no social media. Probably he didn't want to expand his name or brand, let's say, back then. And because of this, maybe... But he is one of the biggest midfield in the world. I think if you ask any ex-football player or now, they will give him the respect that he needed, you know, because he deserved it. He was unbelievable. And do you know why he was kicking the ball so good? I found the answer to that question one day. And it's a funny story.
What is it? Please, tell me.
Because we go to the shower one day, so we're showering. And you mind your own business, you're thinking about stuff. But then all of a sudden I'm showering and I'm looking Paul Scholes' feet. So you see my feet, right? My long one. So that's why I was able to control balls. You know, most of the time I have long feet. His feet, though, were wide, like this. So when your feet is wide, you get the ball, the surface of the ball, better, right? And you have better chance of putting the ball where you want. So then I realized maybe this is his secret weapon. I never asked him about it. I always forget when I see him to ask him, but I would joke about it with him last time and say, Scosi, I know why you kick the ball so well. Your feet is this big. That's why.
Like cushions.
Like, yeah, exactly. And that's why sometimes the shape of the body is important when you see some players doing different tricks like this. And if you pay attention to the body of different players, and the things they are doing, you will see why they're able to do stuff like this. And some players cannot do it. Sometimes the body shape play important role of the things you do on the pitch. Honestly, some things I see other players do, I cannot do. Because my shape and my body is different. These are the small details when people don't realize sometimes, but if you're insight into the football and think about it, you will find these answers.
Yeah. Let's go to your debut. I mean, of all the teams that you're playing against, it's Liverpool.
Yeah.
It's Liverpool. And someone who recently passed away, a legend of Manchester United, arguably their greatest player ever for the club, recently passed away. Didn't he come and see you before that game?
Yeah, that was a funny story again. Not only that, when I was signing my contract, Sir Alex, we are sitting there, we are signing the papers, 12 at night before the curfew. And he's like, Berbs, don't worry. You sign the contract, then I give you a week off to relax your mind off because the stress was too much. And I'm like, okay, boss, thank you. We signed the contract. I go to training session next time. And he's like, get ready, Liverpool is coming.
Wow.
And I'm like thinking to myself, what happened with my break, man? You said I'm going to have a break or something. And he left. And then I needed to prepare for Liverpool. And then we go to Anfield. And I have my routine before games, listen to my music, visualizing the game, taping my ankles because my ankles were weak. So I needed to tape my ankles before every game. So I taping my ankles and someone tapped me on the back. I turn around, it's Sir Alex. And he's like, Berbs, meet Sir Bobby Charlton. And I'm like turning around, again, starstruck, watching, great moment, but thinking to myself, boss, is now the right moment to introduce me? Like, is it? What do I say? I'm concentrated about the game. I cannot focus now on the legend. You know what? So he was like, Berbs, good luck. You know, we'll be seeing each other. And they left. And I'm again trying to visualize, going back to switch to visualizing the game, but thinking to myself, on that moment, come on, boss. It's not the right moment right now, right? But that was the first time I met him, and he was with us. After that, a lot, coming to training session, games. After the games, when we win, if we lose, we're there to share a good word. It was, I mean, you can see on his face and everything, he was a gentleman.
Yeah, definitely a gentleman. Nobody can speak highly enough of him. He was such a legend. You and Liverpool have a history. Obviously, it was the famous hat-trick, which we'll be talking about tonight. I mean, when you speak to United fans, I think that's what comes to your mind first, right? Scoring the overhead kick and all of that. But you also scored 5 goals in one game, the first foreign player to do so against Blackburn. That's another special moment.
I did, but before that game, this is how life works sometimes in football. I didn't score probably in 7, 8 or 10 matches before that, and the pile of pressure that I was coming my way was great. And when you're a striker, goals are the most important, right? It doesn't matter what everyone says. You can run every game up and down the pitch. You can go and defend or whatever. They will judge you by the goals. And I had my tough period at that time. And the day before the game, we have a training session. And the boss was just mingling there, watching the training session. And in the in the last minute of the training session, he comes to me and say, "You ready?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think I am. Don't worry. Don't worry. Just play your way. Just play your way, and that's it." So this is the small moments in the football mind of a player where, if you're a manager, you know how to just put the key and turn it so you can get going, right? So in this way, he was telling me, don't worry, I trust you. You go there and play. And the Blackburn game, of course, I didn't expect to score 5 goals. But the first goal when I score, the relief of me scoring was great. Even if I didn't show, in myself I was thinking, finally. And now let's play Berbs, you know, because the burden was like taken from my back, and I was thinking to myself, all right, now let's play. And after that, just another 4 goals. And honestly, it was probably the best day of my life. After that, someone was telling me, well, you should score 6. I didn't know there was the 5-goal club before me with Alan Shearer, Andy Cole.
Jermaine Defoe was
Jermaine Defoe as well. I didn't know I was the first foreigner player to do that. No, I was not big on statistics. I was just big on enjoying my football. And after a while, going back in my memory to that game, now I was starting to thinking to myself, Berbs, why didn't you score 6? You'll be in the club of 6, just you. And I had a chance to score a 6 goal because I had a great cross, put it with my head towards the goal, but Paul Robinson was the
your ex-teammate.
My ex-teammate, which I felt sorry afterwards. And also Pascal Chimbonda was playing for Blackburn as well. I played with him at Spurs, but Paul Robinson saved it, and that was the chance for me to make it 6. But let's not be greedy, right?
No.
5 is also a good number.
You're an esteemed company.
Esteemed company, yeah, which was great. First foreigner, then Sergio Aguero scored 5 as well. But that game and that moment was great for me personally, because the goals were good goals, with good goals.
Yeah. We'll expand later about the Liverpool one. So
but just one thing though.
Yes.
Not only 5 games in that, not for 5 goals in that game. I also scored 5 goals in other games. So how many players score 5 goals twice?
Not many. Not many at all.
You should check that.
Okay.
You should check that.
I'll research this.
When I played in CSKA Sofia, we played UEFA tournament. They was called by some other name back then. We play a team, I don't remember the name. We won again 7-1 or something. I scored 5 goals. There we go.
Machine. I saw an interview once with Gary Neville. He was saying the hairdryer treatment from Sir Alex, the famous hairdryer treatment. The players who joined the club at the latter stages of Sir Alex's career there were more tame compared to when he was in his heyday in the 80s and the 90s. Yeah. Did you ever receive a... No.
No.
Never.
I was probably lucky enough. But you said it the right way, exactly like this. That he was a bit more mellow at that stage when I was there and other players were there. When he was in his early stages of his career, he was going crazy. Just hair drying here, hair drying there, you know, and giving it to the player. I witnessed him doing it to some of my colleagues when the things were not doing well. But personally to me, no.
Didn't Wayne Rooney say that he would get berated, he would get bollocked by Sir Alex even if he had a good game, but actually Sir Alex was addressing it to someone else, like Ronaldo. Do you think he ever did that to you?
Probably because when he was doing it to someone else in the dressing room, he was actually expressing disappointment with everyone because, again, this is a team sport. You're not playing by yourself. You're playing with your teammates. So if someone is not playing to their standards, it's our duty and job to try to help him to become better. And yes, Waza has a point because sometimes as a manager, this is how you need to manipulate your players and do it. Scream at your best player to show that you can do it. If you can do it to your best player, you can do it to anyone in the team, right? And that's why the best player, because they will take it. Maybe they will say something back. But they will take it, and ultimately when you sit there, you'll be like, I don't want to receive that. I don't want to receive that, so I need to up my game straight away. Otherwise, I'll be the next. Of course, as any coach, any manager, you have your favorites in the team. And sometimes the favorites can go throughout the drops, or how do you say? They can escape stuff like this because they're the favorites of Sir Alex, you know? For example, Darren Fletcher was the favorite of the boss.
Scottish.
Yeah, but it's not like he didn't deserve it. These are the type of players that they did the dirty work. They did the work that need to be done. And you cannot have a great team without players like Darren Fletcher or Shazy, John O'Shea. These are the players that you need to build a successful team. You can have your flashy player, you have myself that do good, beautiful things, but without this type of players, we will be suffering, trust me. And because the boss knew that, I'm pretty sure he knew that, he appreciated this type of player even more. You know, and they are very, very important to have. And after that, as I said, he was his favorite. And you were always joking about him. Go talk to your dad or whatever.
Makes me think of Pierlo's book, which I read. He was talking about Park Ji-sung just staying on him the whole game.
Oh man, that was a crazy moment. Yeah, and we were watching after that or during the game, and Ji-sung Park, he's probably somewhere running right now as well.
Possibly. With Evra, I heard the best mates.
They had a great connection, but another player that I needed and I missed to mention is Ji-sung Park, because he will do what needed to be done for the team. No selfishness. Don't say my name. I will do it for you guys. I will do it for your boss. No problem. Just tell me what I need to do. If I need to run 1 week, I'll do it. If I need to follow Pirlo to the bathroom, I will be there watching, you know, and make him not play at all like he did. So he was a soldier, man, a true soldier.
Yeah. I'm rapidly running out of time, sadly, but I need to ask, because there were 2 Champions League finals which occurred when you were there at Manchester United. Barcelona, I mean, it's heartbreak to lose. You came on as a substitute, of course, in one. But in the second, the season where you were the top scorer in the division, you weren't on the bench, you weren't in the starting 11, you weren't even in the squad. Yeah. How was that broken to you? How did it make you feel?
This was probably one of my biggest challenges that I needed to face as a United player, to be a champion that year, to become the goal scorer of my team and the league, and not be able to play into the Champions League final. It was a big disappointment for myself. And the moment I heard the news, you know, Sir Alex was telling me in the dressing room before the game, I felt pain. I felt disappointment because I didn't deserve it. Because at that stage, I was so confident in myself that if I can kick the ball from any position on the pitch, I will score. That's how confident I felt. And to not be able to show that on the pitch as a starting or coming from the bench, it pained me. And in the end of the day, though, I understood that I can do nothing to change that decision. This is how managers make decisions before the games, and you know, even if you say something, you cannot change it. It's already made. The kids are put into the dressing room, and it probably one of the more painful moments of my life, because I had 3 chances to win the Champions League. I didn't do it. This is how life works sometimes. Football as well can be cruel, but again, you just accept it, make peace with it, because I cannot change it.
Did it hasten your exit from United, because a year later you'll be at Fulham?
Yes, because after that, when you really love football, like I did, I wanted to play. And when you see that you're getting less time to play, yes, I was able probably to choose and stay and play here and there and get a good salary or whatever, but I just wanted to play. It doesn't matter when or how. I just want, again, to feel joy of playing football, scoring goals, make fans watching me go, wow. Oh, that was what I wanted to do. And when my phone rang and I hear, Berba, my boy. And straight away I smiled, and we take it from there.
Yeah. A few years ago you published a book, a foreword written by Sir Alex. What did you feel when you read it? Because didn't he apologize to you for the Champions League? Yeah,
he did. He did, because I knew even after the game, or the weeks after the game, that he realized that maybe he made a mistake. But then when he wrote my foreword for my book and apologized in a way, it was also great, because you need to, let's say, have a closure in a way, even though you know that you cannot take it back or change it. But it was a great thing, and this is how sometimes life works. You make a mistake, you say sorry in your private life, to your wife, to your kids, to your friends, or whatever, and make peace with it. And you know, if we are ever reborn or something, maybe you can do it again. If not, you need to accept it.
Yeah, we saw you at Fulham, Monaco, with the likes of Bernardo Silva, Anthony Martial.
Yeah,
Fabinho was there.
A great team in Monaco. Honestly, I didn't want to go to Monaco in the beginning, because London, it's a great city. My family was there with me. They felt great. I was scoring goals as well. But then Fulham, My period in Fulham started to, Martineau again needed to go.
Relegation occurred as well.
Relegation occurred afterwards, but we are going through that direction. And I wasn't happy anymore. So now, again, I needed to find maybe a new challenge for myself. So I was 32, 3 at that point. But again, felt good. And Monaco came in, I'm like, what? I want to stay in England, man. I want to play here. But then, as in life, sometimes you need to make that step. Go there, challenge yourself. And honestly, best decision as well, to go to Monaco. Monaco is great to live, trust me. The team was great. Ranieri was the coach. Again, run. work. So again, I needed to have some words with him, because for the first couple of games, I didn't play. So then I had enough, and I go to his office. I'm like, boss, why am I here? Why I came here? I came to help you. I want to play. Give me a chance to help you to play, because we had bad results. Next game, I'm starting. I score and I make an assist. And from there on, Ranieri was coming to me, he's like, you okay? Are you feeling good? Because we have important game tomorrow. You know, basically saying to me, you're important to me now. So that's why I say before, strikers, we need to feel special. We want to feel special. And after that, we make a good relationship with him as well. But the players we had in the team, like you mentioned, Martial was going, Bernardo Silva, João Moutinho, James Rodriguez, Fabinho, Carvalho, Eric Abidal was there. You know, we had unbelievable team, and you know, it was great memories from there as well.
And you're looking like James Bond in Monaco, and
yeah,
looking stylish, classy, elegant as always.
Oh man, it was a great place. Not only that, because straight away I was able to, after that talk with Ranieri, to show what I can do, play, score good goals, beautiful goals. The life was great as well. You meet the prince, you have the sea and everything. So it was great, 1.5 years.
All right. Before I open up to the floor, this final question. Brilliant career. When I think of amazing players, there are many. When I think of the best players, there are many. But there's very few I can say are the most elegant, and you definitely fit onto that list.
Oh, thanks.
But what about your perception do you feel, what do you remember for? Because some people would say you're a bit lazy in the pitch, but I don't think that's the case. I just think that it's just your body language doesn't tell the full story. Do you think that's a misconception about Dimitar Berbatov?
Well, if you truly know football and you understand how football is played or should be played, you will see that the best player, probably the most intelligent player here. They are quick here, not necessarily with their feet. They're quick in their mind. They read the game. They're 2-3 steps ahead of the game. And that's why the way I used to play the game was like this. My main goal was to do something to entertain everybody watching it, but to have an end result, which by I mean to win the game, to score a goal, not just for the sake of it. I wanted to, if I do a great assist or something that the fans will go, wow, this to be finished with a goal, with the 3 points, with something. And that was the main goal for myself. And if I did that, while I was doing it, made fans or people smile, then honestly, I've done my job. I've done my job. I wanted to stay and do it my own way, how I played football, with the touch, with the control, with the vision, with the elegancy, to show that sometimes you don't need to run everywhere around the pitch. If you are smart here, you can still beat the defender to the ball. And probably most time than not, I accomplished this, and I'm very proud that I accomplished it my way. No coach ever told me, Berbs, you need to do this or that and change. Everybody was trying to show me to embrace what I can do. And I was very fortunate from early age to develop the technique that I had with the touch, because that made me who I was later in the stages of the game. So if they're talking about elegant players, players that bring smile and joy, and then you go home and you try to imitate, probably I'll be in that category.
Greatest of all touches, GOAT.
Yep. I have that shirt.
I know. Anybody got a better touch than you?
Of course, they have many players that have probably the best touch or the similar touch. In my mind, for example, you cannot be like Messi and not have a great touch. You cannot be like Xavi or Iniesta and not have a great touch, because the ball was glued to their legs. Ronaldinho, when he used to play, had a great touch. But everybody made it in their own way, in a different way of style. But all of us have a common thing that we know how to touch the ball. And everybody did it individually, how they see is the best of their ability.
That's why I love going and watch your videos on YouTube. Dimitar, this is actually the season finale of the show. We wanted to save the best for last, which is why we're doing things a different way today. We've never done this show in front of an audience. This is the first time. Right. So we're going to open up just 3 questions each. So directly in front of me, I have the Manchester United. Manchester United here, Tottenham here. We're going to start with the Spurs side.
Okay, hi, Boba. I'm here from Malaysia Spurs. Apa kabar?
Hello.
Okay, when we were playing in 2008, sir, we were a mid-table team. However, we were destroying other teams in the League Cup. How confident was the Spurs team back then, and what was our strategy to face the mighty Chelsea in the final?
Before the final, I think we beat Arsenal 5-0, right?
Yes.
You remember that game?
Yes, we destroyed them.
And you know, I don't like that game. You know why? Because I didn't score in that game. And I was going crazy in the dressing room afterwards. I didn't score. Why are you celebrating here? You know? And I had a good chance to score. I missed. But in the end, we won, of course, and we proceed to play the final. Because of that win against Arsenal in the semi-final, we had a big confidence going into the final with Chelsea. Of course, Chelsea, you remember, Drogba was there, John Terry, Frank Lampard, great team, Petr Cech on the goal. And we knew we are the underdogs.
Yes, yes.
But I don't know, we just believe that we can do something special here, especially after beating Arsenal 5-0. And the day before the game, Juan de Ramos took us to to where we were sleeping. It was a big castle or something, a hotel. But next to it, the manager and his staff have invited to have activity. So like to make the squad even strong together.
Team building. Team building, is it?
Team bonding, team bonding, building and stuff like this. So we had some archery, you know, some other activity that make us forget for the final a little bit. Because if you just overthink and think and think, you can burn out and you can do nothing. So I think that was the very important moment before the final where we forget about it for 10, 15 minutes or more and just bond with each other, make it even strong. The way to the final in the bus, on the screen in the bus, they were preparing a movies showing each player great moments during the season and the cup to motivate us in a way and to show, look, you're good enough. You're good enough. You just need to believe even more because we are now at the final. So we need to do it, even if it's Chelsea, even if they have great players. And even when we are 1-0 down, we still believe that we can do something. And in the end, it was a great moment. I mean, it was a great, great moment to beat Chelsea with the great players they had. And I think we deserve it, to be honest.
Yes, yes, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello, Berba.
Hi.
Anyway, I just wanted to share you with that. We love you, but you broke our heart when you shifted to Manchester United. Yeah. Anyway, a question for you. I think you mentioned earlier, but I just repeat. We had a fantastic duo in Son and Kane, but you were the first, you and Robbie Keane. All right? Yeah. I just love it when you guys were playing together. You guys had this telepathic 5G connection. Yeah. All right? But how did this connection develop? Because you only played for 2 seasons, and it was so immediate. Yeah. How you click so well? Would you, I mean, when you guys go out, hit the ladies in London, he was your wingman or something? That's my question. I really wanted to ask
that. My wingman. Actually, we never go out together outside from football pitch. That's why I say sometimes you cannot explain stuff. They are just happening. And you're just enjoying it. You don't look for the answer because you don't get complicated. You're just enjoying the moment. You're playing with your teammate, in this case, Robbie Keane, and you hope that it's going to last as long as it can be. And we just knew that going out on the pitch, we're going to have fun. Because that's how we play the whole team. We wanted to have fun. Even if we lose in a game, we'll be 4-3, 6-4, or something like this. You go home and you'll be like, oh my God, a game, what a game. But, you know, the main thing was, as I said before, no selfishness, and no envy. And when you sense this from your partner on the pitch, you want to give even more to him. So he will give it back to you. And you feed from this, and the team will be great. And of course, on the training sessions, again, we will do some stuff. But most of it, it was pure improvisation on the pitch. Because this is how really the players who have this in their bones, the improvisation, they will do it on the moment in the games. Sometimes we work, sometimes we will not. But the braver the player is to improvise, he will do it on the pitch. And most of the time it will happen. And with Kino is like this, improvisation, playing off each other, no envy, no selfishness, scoring goals, making assists, and appreciate each other. And it was great moments. Yes, it was just 2 seasons. Deep down, I wanted to be more. Don't get me wrong, I wanted to be more. But this is how football is sometimes, as I explained before. It will come a day when you need to take different step, different approach. I wanted to be the guy to play my whole career in one team, like Giggs did, like Scholes did. But that was not me because I'm coming from a different country. And along the way, I disappointed people, like you said, the Spurs fan. But if you look at the other way, if I never left, Harry Kane would never be showing up. Right? Because I was going to be play every game, knowing myself I want to play. And you see, it come a point where you need to take the next step. Heung-min Son with Harry Kane, unbelievable, right? But at one point, you need to make the next step, and you go to a different place, like Harry Kane. Now, Heung-min Son takes more responsibility, captain. You see, he's shining, and I hope he can stay with Spurs forever. But if he chooses to do something different, I will understand probably, because I've been there. I know how it is and what is going through your mind. And football, like I said, can be cruel sometimes and maybe unfair to some, more fair to others, but you know, it is football.
Good evening, Mr. Berbatov. Welcome to Malaysia.
Thank you.
Just to let you know, right, you are one of the very few football players, right, to actually show me the magic of football. You know, the silkiness and what you've done for Spurs, right? The last trophy that we've had through your hands and Robbie Keane's hands. My question is, actually, I'm going to divert from my original question a bit, right? Because you were saying about choices in life. If I give you in time now, right, would you choose us or would you choose MU?
Well, if it's in the same, and now you mean?
Now, not at that time. If at now, and you are perfectly what you were at that. Would you join Spurs or you join?
You're putting me on the spot here, but because you don't know me personally and you know how honest and brutal I can be at the time, I will give you the honest answer. Now, Spurs have a great training facility, a great stadium. The stadium of Spurs is better than the stadium at Old Trafford. Trust me, Old Trafford need to work on that stadium a lot, and I'm sure they will, because times are changing now. And now, if I'm in this situation, it will be way more difficult to make the decision, because seeing how the days and times has shifted and what United is going through. So then I'll be more calculating, more thinking, and probably I will decide to stay at Spurs if it's now the current situation, seeing the changing of coaches, the way the games are played, the criticizing of everything, like no trophies for 10 years, no trophies, sorry. The league title, I mean. So that will be a big decision changer for everyone, especially me, because as you said, back in the day it was the titles, the games, the manager, the players, everything. But now, unfortunately, and pains me to say it, guys, but you know it, you see it. We need to work very hard as a team united to go back and challenge for everything. So in this problem, in this situation, based on what Spurs have built, and trust me, if you never go to the training ground, you should go, if you have a chance and they allow it. If you've been to the stadium, you know what I'm talking about, right? And I remember going to the stadium and see Daniel Levy and say, why didn't you build this when I was there? Because the training ground was smaller when I was there. The White Hart Lane, the old one, although it was a great with memories and everything, it was small, now it's unbelievable. So probably the tough decision will be to take the chance and maybe stay at Spurs. You know why? Yes, because he reminds me with that voice deep to Martinho in a way. the way he carry himself, he's very honest. Like, all right, mate, you know, stuff like this, and talking, and just, you have some people that you see them, and you want to play for them. And I think the players, they want to play for Ange. They want to die for him on the pitch and just enjoy, because you can see now Spurs have that way of playing, entertaining football again, brave football. We are down to 9 men. I don't care. Just go and play high line or whatever. You know, entertain the fans, and they will appreciate it like they do. Hopefully, along that road, we can win. When I say we, guys, I want you to understand me. I say we because I love Spurs and love United. I hope that we can win something, a trophy or something, because 2008, now it's 2023. Come on. You know, you need to find any means necessary to win a trophy. Hopefully that will give the hunger and to the players, and they try to win more along the way.
Hi, Dimitar.
Hi.
Okay, I'm a United fan for nearly 30 years, so naturally, my son would be a fan as well if he wants to live under my roof, right?
Okay.
So my question is, what advice would you give to a young fan for the situation that we're currently in nowadays? Because football has really sucked, I mean, United has really sucked all of the fun out of my son when it comes to football. He kept saying, you know, you were dad during your time, United was great. Look at me, I get made fun of every week by my friends who are, you know, Liverpool fans, City fans.
Oh my God, seriously?
So I don't have any answer for that. So maybe you have something that you can give to my son, Mika. He's 10 years old, by the way.
No, and I completely understand what he's going through. I completely understand. What can I tell you, man? Listen, hope dies last, right? You always hope for something. You always hope for the best. Even if you go through a difficult period of time, you always hope that it's going to end at one point. And I want to say that let's keep the hope that United will be, as soon as possible, back to winning ways, winning trophies, Premier League trophy, because I don't want to be in a situation where they be the same as Liverpool, not winning the title for how long it was before they won it? 30 years, right? So that would be a dangerous path to take. And it pains me sometimes, because I'm obviously United fan playing for the team. When I'm back home, they make the fun, the same to your son, they talk to me. What is going on, Berbs? Why is United not playing well? Why are they not winning trophy? Look where City are or Liverpool doing. Of course, I experienced the same stuff, just with grown-up people, you know. So these are the moment where it's simple as that. I cannot give you and be a philosopher, give you a complicated answer. Just keep the hope that at one point the things will go back to normal. It's not going to be easy, as you see. It's not easy, and you just keep working smart. Let's hope, not necessarily hard sometimes, but make the smart choices. And it's, you know, down to the manager and the players to bring into the pitch, you know. And let's hope that will be happening soon.
Hi, Berba.
Hi.
I'm Nick. Welcome to Malaysia again. And before I ask you my question, allow me to share one story. On the deadline day of transfer deadline on 2008, I was staying up until 6 a.m. waiting for you to confirm the transfer to Man United. So I was so happy. I have the class next day. So I didn't sleep, but I went to class with a big smile because you signed for us.
How old you were?
I was a student and I was 21 that
21.
time. 21. And yeah, I went to class with a big smile. But unfortunately, a year after, we conquered England, yes, but we fall short. We lost in the final of the Champions League. And Ronaldo and Tevez left. Yeah. So my question to you, if you were in Ferguson's shoes during that time, who would you like to sign? Who would like to play against? And on personal level, how would you felt losing maybe two of the best players in the squad at that time?
Well, if I was, like you said, in the manager's shoes, I will try not to lose these players. It's not like the boss didn't try everything possible to not lose them. And that's why I say the similarity here with me leaving Spurs and then Ronaldo leaving United and going to a different place, that hurts as well. But this is that you need to do sometimes, following your own path. But if I needed to replace them back then, man, you putting me on the spot. I don't know what. probably we didn't think we lose good and great players, but at the same time we are confident enough that we can do it without them as well. We can be okay. You are leaving, good luck. We don't play with you anymore, and it's going to be sad for us because we are teammates, but we have the ability to do without anyone because it was United, and this is how you do. You can do it without any player. And that's what probably we're thinking back in the day as well. But to give you an answer, who they are going to sign, probably I don't have any name now. Based on that, we were confident enough we can be fine. You have Waza, you have Giggsy, I believed in myself as well, and that was enough for us to go on and win a trophies as well.
Hi, Baba. Nice to meet you. Okay, question, what do you think the current squad should be improved on the team?
How long you got?
That's the simple one.
Well, listen, I am not the manager. I probably don't have the right answer. I am just like any of you guys that are watching the game now from outside. Yes, I can have more information here and there, but when you're not inside into the day-to-day business operation, training session of the club, it's difficult to find the answer. The truth is that we are going up and down, up and down. We have good games, bad games, really worse games. We take the lead, then we lose the game. So the only thing probably, not the only thing, but one of the most important things that Sir Alex was telling us right before we go for the game, and is to this day I remember it. We were going out of the door, he will be there at front of the door, and each and every player going out, obviously you go high five with the manager, and then you leave, and then the next one, and he'll be like, stay concentrated, stay concentrated, stay concentrated, stay concentrated, because the concentration factor is one of the most important in football. It can make you score a goal or miss a goal if you're not concentrated. It can make you make a mistake or not make a mistake if you're concentrated. It's the same with life as well. So if the team stay concentrated most of the time, I think they'll be fine, because some of the goals we conceded were based on stupid mistakes and lack of concentration. And this is one of the most important factors they need to know and try to do. It's not as easy as it's said here. Sitting and going like this and watching the game, you're probably thinking, I can do better. Trust me, it's not that case. You step into the pitch, it's completely different experience, honestly, and it's a tough one. Especially if you're in a cycle of losing games and not playing bad, you will find difficult to get out of that cycle. Very difficult. And only together with the manager and the staff and yourself, you can get out of all this. And that's why I say hoping that the good times will come as soon as possible, because United, one of the biggest brands still in world football, and they need to up the product on the pitch.
Discipline, another word which keeps coming up and up again. It's all about the discipline. I want to thank the questions from the Spurs side. I want to thank the questions from the Manchester United fans as well. I want to thank all of you for coming here today. This is, like I mentioned, the season finale. I'm going to tell you something. I just realized this. I only have 2 jerseys at home with a name on the back. I'm serious. I don't have that many jerseys. One of them is yours.
Seriously?
Yeah. And the other one is Casillas, in a game you play where he made his name. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Saving the best for last. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause. Dimitar Berbatov.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I don't know why I didn't bring the jersey. I'm an absolute idiot. Probably because I was up till 6 a.m. preparing for the interview. But there'll be more League of Legends coming really, really soon. Again, this is the season finale, but I promise you, more to come. My name's Adam Carruthers. Till next time.